Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am the Southern Wrestling Scholar ZJ Pierce, the host of the Nerdz Watching Wrasslin Podcast, and this is Quick Reacts, where I take a look at insert wrestling show here and let you know what happened just in case you missed it or if you would like an outsider's opinion. And today we are talking about the February 9th episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Pretty okay show. Obviously, we're building towards Elimination Chamber. We're finally on the road to WrestleMania, so we're just getting some stuff set up for these next 68 days. Nothing really too much to write home about. Everything's pretty straightforward, straight to the point. If you're tired of talking about what I think about it, let's just go ahead and get into it. Tag me in! So, the show opens with the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch, who says that, basically just starts having the whole little freak out because upon entering the building, she sees AJ Lee and CM Punk. Obviously, the crowd chanting AJ Lee immediately brings out AJ Lee to ask what the problem is. Becky Lynch then proceeds to have a full mental breakdown, wondering what she has to do to get rid of AJ Lee. So she challenges AJ to a match in Chicago at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. AJ Lee says, well, since I've already technically beaten you twice at WrestlePalooza and in War Games, I should kind of be the number one contender for your title, right? So let's make this a title match. Becky Lynch says no. AJ says no title match, no match. So Becky Lynch says, fine, you will get your match. But if you think that the man held you down before, you have no idea what's coming for you at Elimination Chamber. I hope we do get a singles warm-up match for AJ Lee. I wouldn't be mad if her first singles match back in 11 so years is just at the Chamber. But I personally would like to see a warm-up match on Raw. But yay, AJ Lee gets an IC title match. I'm so excited. Next, Jimmy and Jey Uso defend their World Tag Team titles against Akira Tozawa and Otis of the Alpha Academy. I think it's time we call them something else. This was a very good showing, especially from Akira Tozawa. I see why they called him the Cardio Monster back in the day, former 24/7 champion, former Cruiserweight champion. Otis was no slouch either, saying that he wants to reclaim gold for Alpha Academy in this iteration. Obviously, Otis is a former World Tag Team champion in Alpha Academy, but with Chad Gable. So this was more like a proving ground match for Alpha Academy. Like I said, we got to call them something else at this point. But ultimately, the day did belong to the Usos, who hit dual spears and the 1D on Otis to get the win. They had a tremendous show of respect after the match. And Jimmy told Jay that now that they got that out the way, he needs to focus on the Elimination Chamber so he can go back to being main event Jey Uso. Next, Liv Morgan, the winner of the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble, and Dominic Mysterio, your AAA Mega Campeon and Intercontinental Champion, come out to say that Liv Morgan has put both champions on notice. This then brings out Stephanie Vaquer, where her and Dominic have a nice little conversation in Spanish with Liv obviously on the outside looking in, not knowing what Stephanie Vaquer and Dom said to each other. But Stephanie ultimately told Liv in English, I really hope that you choose me so I can kick your A word. Then Liv Morgan calls her the B word in Spanish, leading to a nice little telenovela moment where Stephanie looks like she's going to attack Liv. Dom gets in the middle of it, and Dom gets slapped the hard way. This was very cute. Next, in our first Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match on Raw, Rhea Ripley took on Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria. This was a very good showing for Lyra Valkyria. I'm sorry, not for Lyra Valkyria. Even though she did have a great showing in this match, this was a very good showing for Ivy Nile. She was such a powerhouse in this match. At one point, even hitting the Doomsday Avalanche Spider German suplex while Lyra was going for a superplex on Rhea. Was very good stuff. Ultimately, the night did belong to Rhea Ripley, who hit a running knee on Lyra Valkyria and the Riptide for the win. Rhea Ripley now joins Tiffany Stratton in the Women's Elimination Chamber. Tiffany, who qualified this past Friday on SmackDown. Sorry, I didn't get to review that, but yes, now Rhea Ripley joins Tiffany Stratton and 4 other women to be determined at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago. Backstage, Finn Balor says he is done being an afterthought and says he wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Dominic Mysterio lets him know that plan is kind of, sort of, isn't going to happen now that the WrestleMania main event has been confirmed to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. So Finn Balor just goes in and hijacks CM Punk's in-ring interview with Michael Cole, demanding that he gets a title match. Adam Pearce says, no, it's too late. This CM Punk Roman Reigns thing is already in motion. Just like the Royal Rumble is too late. There's no place for you. This then brings out CM Punk, who wants to be the fighting champion that he claims he is, and says that either Pierce will make the match or he's just going to spend the rest of the night hunting Finn Balor down to get his pound of flesh, because 2 weeks ago, Finn Balor did leave CM Punk laying. So, at Elimination Chamber, it will be CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, Finn Balor is not going to win this match, but hey, at least he's doing something. They are never going to break up the Judgment Day. But I honestly believe that this match will lead to Finn Balor turning on Dominic Mysterio, and we do end up getting Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Hopefully that's what goes down. I'm not sure. But after all that is made official, Michael Cole proceeds to conduct his in-ring interview with CM Punk, where he just basically asks him, why would you do this? And CM Punk cuts generic fighting champion promo number 5 here. Okay. In her first match since the repackage, Natty takes on Maxine Dupree. This was all just about showing how tough Natty is compared to Natalya. Like we said, Natalya elevates, Natty decimates, which is why this match went into a no contest after Natty kept beating up Maxine on the outside, even locking in a sharpshooter on her on the announce table. This would bring out AJ Lee to make the save and send Natty running. But ultimately, while helping Maxine to the back, AJ Lee herself is attacked by Becky Lynch to help promote their match for the Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch is not a happy camper right now. Next, Los Americanos, the little guys in the red and blue masks, who I'm being told are called Rayo and Bravo, took on Javon Evans and his mystery tag team partner, the original El Grande Americano. This was more segment than it was match, but it was still a very fun match, especially in the closing segment where Bravo was going for a diving headbutt and Javon Evans came from the opposite corner and hit the OG cutter, leading the original El Grande Americano to hit the flying headbutt and get the win for his team. But in the post-match, the other El Grande Americano, we're going to call him the Ludwig Kaiser variant. The Kaiser variant would attack Javon Evans and the OG Americano, even going as far as trying to rip the mask off the original Americano. Obviously, the tables got turned, and the original Americano tried to rip the mask off the Kaiser variant before Rayo and Bravo helped him escape. This is going to be some very good silliness going into WrestleMania. I cannot wait for mask versus mask, because if that's not where we're going with this, why are we doing this? Gunther says that he is going to qualify next week for the Elimination Chamber. Then he's going to go on to WrestleMania, kill the career of Drew McIntyre, and become WWE Champion. And in the main event, we have Penta, Austin Theory, and LA Knight vying to qualify for the Men's Elimination Chamber. I will call this a triple threat. This was really just Austin Theory versus LA Knight with a little bit of Penta sprinkled into it, because Penta only played a factor in the ending, and only barely. I feel like Penta may have picked up a knee injury in this match. Corey Graves alluded to as much when he was thrown behind the announce table, but Pentagon did not have a lot of time in this match. The closing moments of the match saw the Vision attack LA Knight as he was setting up for the blunt force trauma on Austin Theory, with even Bronson Reed hitting a tsunami on LA Knight in the ring. This led to a very good near fall after Austin Theory hit a stomp before Penta would pull him out of the ring. After Austin Theory would dispatch a Penta, Austin Theory himself would be attacked by a masked man with a super kick and a stomp, then threw Theory into the ring, allowing LA Knight to hit the BFT to pin Theory for the 1-2-3. Now LA Knight has qualified for the Men's Elimination Chamber. He joins Randy Orton, who qualified this past Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the February 9th episode of Monday Night Raw. Like I said, a pretty good show. Nothing you really have to go out your way to watch. We set up a lot of progress for Elimination Chamber in Chicago. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw and of this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you check out the latest episode of the Nerdz Watching Wrasslin Podcast, where I do a deep dive into the 2026 Royal Rumble. I have been the Southern Wrestling Scholar, ZJ Pierce. Please, God bless all of you guys and everything you do. We will see you next time.